It's great football in Nigeria is dead. It is dead. It is absolutely dead. In my opinion, Ibrahim Gusso, the NFF president, has failed woefully. What do you mean the under 17 men's national team did not qualify for African under 17 Cup of Nations for two consecutive times? Nigeria. This is the most successful under 17 men's team in the world. We won five five titles, five gold titles, five World Cup under 17 World Cup, five. And we're runners up three times. We are by far the most successful men's under 17 team in the world. Yet, on African soil, we could not qualify for Afcon under 17 Afcon under Ibrahim Gusau. This is the failure of the highest order, in my opinion. We have a pool of talent, for goodness sake, scattered across the length and the breadth of Nigeria. We also have a lot of talent scattered across Europe, the US, and even Asia that will be willing to play for us at under 17 level if we scout for them. Let's assume that okay, so we don't want to like bring in too many foreign players at this age grade football, but then across the length and breadth of Nigeria, we could still find quality talents, quality players that will qualify us and eventually even win us the African under 17 Cup of Nations title. We could not qualify. This is shameful. This is disgraceful. This is unacceptable. This should never ever happen under any circumstances. Ibrahim Gusso, I think he has failed woefully. I mean, ultimately, for a football federation, whatever you do, I think your success will be measured based on the titles your national teams were able to win. So first, the Super Eagles could not win Afcon 2024, 2025. Yeah, you could say we came close, but we didn't win. We did not win. Back-to-back failed World Cup qualification bid. We failed to qualify for the US 2026. Previously, we did not qualify for Qatar 2022. You want to blame that on Pinnick? Fine, but then 2026 was Gusso's own. He failed to qualify. The crazy thing is that we failed in the bid of that qualification. We failed to beat countries like Lesotho, Zimbabwe, a whole Nigeria. Come on now. Largely, maybe because of the instability of the coaching job. We had three coaches in 10 World Cup qualifying games. Different coaches with their different philosophies. You keep changing, changing. Eventually, we ended up not qualifying for World Cup. Yes, you could say we won WAFCON. Super Falcons won WAFCON. Yes, we won WAFCON, but that is almost our birthright. We are by far the most successful women's football team in Africa. We have 10 titles. The next person has only two. Equatorial Guinea. They are not even in the conversation for men's football right now. So let's not use WAFCON title winning campaign to maybe give some credit to Gusso. Yes, it was won under his regime, but then it was almost like our birthright. That's in the backdrop of the failed um failed attempt to organize quality friendlies for these girls in the build up to that WAFCON campaign. Okay, so fine, we eventually won, and now we are set to defend our WAFCON in July through August. And we are having failed arrangements to organize friendlies. We're not even talking about quality friendlies for Silver Falcons, but then just friendlies, whatever, grade A, grade B, even grade C. Friendlies, no friendlies at all, nothing under Ibrahim Gusso. So you managed to destroy the age grade football, the youth football. Under 17, we are nowhere to be found. Under 20, it is nowhere. We have not qualified for Olympics. Under 23, we've not qualified for Olympics in the longest of ever time that I can remember. For the women under 17, it's just there. Under 20, we went to, I think, Colombia. We crashed out in group stage even. So the only team, national team, that is doing well at the moment is Super Falcons, and even them, he's about to crash the team down with his lack of building friendly games for them. Two consecutive international windows, no single friendlies for the Super Falcons of Nigeria, and we are about to defend our title. Not just defending our title, this is also a competition that will guarantee whoever that wants to go to the World Cup. So the best four teams at AFCON 2026 will automatically make it to the World Cup, and then there is no build-up games whatsoever. Grade A, Grade B for the Super Falcons of Nigeria. It's great football there. The national team for women is about to crumble. For the men, I can't even guarantee you that we'll even qualify for next Afcon. We're not talking about World Cup now, Afcon, because then we couldn't beat Lesotho, we couldn't beat Zimbabwe in qualification round for World Cup. Okay, fine, we did well, maybe well, just concluded Afcon, but then when you meet a tactically sound coach, he outclassed us. So what are you talking about? We have a golden generation that we should cruise into these competitions or cruise into the finals a little bit less stressful, a little bit more easier. But then we're not there. And all these things fall in places, I think, against the governance or the leadership style of Ibrahim Gusso, the NFF president. This is unacceptable. This is unacceptable. The funny thing is that Ibrahim Gusso is bidding for a re-election to come back as the NFF president again. How on earth? The guts he has. I don't know what he will sell as a manifesto to his potential voters to vote him in again. What will he tell them he achieved? He won the WAFCON? Under his leadership, WAFCON was won. What else? Nothing special. Nothing really special. In a sane world, Ibrahim Gusso should be resigning and not be seeking for re-election bid. In a sane world, Ibrahim Gusso should never be near that glass house. But then it is Nigeria. And then this is one of a small case in the entire country. For the same incompetence in NFF, you can find them in different ministries or different government parastatals. So it's like a systemic problem. And then we're facing the football. So yeah, football problem. You can trace it back to our league also. The quality of our leagues are dead. NFF teams cannot even comfortably compete at the continental level. Half Champions League, no. You will not see us in that conversation, though. Never. Never. We perform so badly these days in CAF competitions. For the women too, the closest team, the team that even did a little bit maybe commendable lately was Edo Queens semifinals. I think 2 years ago. We've not been fantastic. So in our league, both men and the women, we are not so good. Yeah, you could argue that most of our best players eventually travel abroad when they get better deals abroad. Yeah, we could make a case for that. But then our national team, what case will you do? What case will you make? Because whoever player that intend or that eventually travels abroad because of better deals, he would like to play for the Super Eagles of Nigeria, Super Falcons of Nigeria, for the Falconets, for the 17 Eaglets, Golden Eaglets, and the rest of it. Why are we not assembling the best legs? Why are we not organizing the best? Recently, there was age grade football competitions going or like friendlies going all over the world except Nigeria. You see under 21 playing, under 17 playing friendlies with against different countries, but never in Nigeria. So there's no arrangement for friendlies in our age grade football or even our national team. No arrangement, field leadership. What is the excuse? Funding? You mean Senegal have more money to fund football than Nigeria? You mean Zambia are rich in funding football than Nigeria? Are richer? Because I won't call Morocco. You could say Morocco are richer. You could say Morocco are more intentional. Why are we not being also intentional as Morocco? We have a template from Morocco that we could adopt. We have even a Senegal template we could adopt. Senegal just won Senegal African school competition. Senegal just won it, but yesterday or so. They won Afcon too. They are in the under 17 African Cup of Nations. Probably would win it. So there's a template from Senegal that we could copy. There's a template from Morocco that we could copy. We're not copying. In fact, Ghana, our neighbors, are even getting it even right at the moment. Their women are progressing. They are rising so fast, so steadily. The progress you could see the progress. The men too are doing pretty well. They are the World Cup eventually. Not Nigeria. We are obviously not getting almost anything right as far as NFF Federation is concerned. And this is, we need to say, I think we need to start a campaign to call it like Save Nigerian Football from Ibrahim So's hand. We need to start that campaign already. I don't think that man should come back as NFF president in the next election cycle. I think the election is coming up in September or thereabout in Lafayette, Nasarawa State. Also. He should never come back, in my opinion. There is nothing, in my opinion, that he has achieved that warrants him to come back. Don't call Wafcon for me, please. Don't. There is nothing. There is nothing. Age grade football in Nigeria is dead. We need a miracle to bring it back. We need a miracle to compete against, even against African countries in the continent, not to even talk about the world stage. We need a miracle to be able to compete again. Host competitions are dead. Everything is just crumbling. The only thing that is surviving in the national team football now is a Super Falcons and maybe little of a Super Eagles. So obviously we'll be going to WAFCON without any preparations at all, sadly, which will make it very difficult for us to be able to defend that title. Obviously, we will not be at under 17 African Cup of Nations for men. I hope we'll change the narrative and be in the next one. We hopefully should be in Tanzania, Kenya, and Zambia for Rwanda. Yeah, for Afcon 2027. We should be there, but I won't be surprised if we eventually do not qualify. Ibrahim Gusso has failed, and he has failed woefully. We need to save Nigerian football from Ibrahim Gusso's leadership. It is urgent. It is urgent. It is very, very urgent. Thank you for listening. Catch you in my next video.